Okay, let's review this one. So this is how Steiner gave it. Oh, there's one of the other mysteries. Which took us ages to find out. This diagram is also used in. No, it's not used. It was in the typed script Audrey McAllen had. At those times, these lectures were not printed but typed out with carbon between it. Yeah, and then that's how they had it. But someone had written. And you can find it in the text though, but it is not, in the later editions it was not published. And it was written next to it, and it said facing east. You can read in the text, but it is not next to the diagram in the later printed editions. But for Audrey that was a clue, facing east. So with spatial orientation, she went back to this print script she had. That was the edition she had. And there it was said facing east. So the ego is east. But here it's upright. So normally we think this as being the north. The top is north, below is south. That's west, that's east. Am I correct? Yeah, that's east. And this is facing east, something extra, which helped her to develop the work. Just so someone helped her, or maybe not even a human being, but who knows, who gave the inspiration for someone who was typing the things out to put this with there. Facing east. So this diagram is for a human being standing upright. Do we need to go through it again? Do you know all the currents? Yeah, so the ego is working through the spine towards the feet. You know that. That's what we did with the mummy, the spiral, copper spiral ball. You know what I mean. This, and the astral body is moving upwards in a spiral. So it's a spine, and an astral body is moving upwards in a spiral. Sentient soul and sentient body are also an element of the astral body, because the astral body is transformed and worked upon by the ego, and now we are already in the stage that the consciousness soul will be developed. But anyway, sentient soul, sentient body. Lower animals just have a sentient body. Higher animals even have a little bit of a sentient soul, because they react to the outer world. They have that element a little. Not individualized, but they have it. So that's the spiral. And from left to right, soul and ego, then we are outside. But when we want to come into the physical, we need the life forces and we need the physical forces. And that was all prepared during the planetary stages. So what we have here as a current, it's not an arrow. It's a current. These are forces. You can really think of it as forces that work from one side, for your left side, and the ether force is coming from that side. And whenever you make this gesture, you're already working with these forces. Those of you who have done the training may have heard that, but the moment I make a line, I draw a line and they go down, I make very subtly when you write a letter, what we did yesterday, when you write a capital, and you make this small line, you just do this gesture with your hand. You emphasis, is that a word? You follow this current of the ego. There you go down. Now we know that there are children that start at the bottom and ride up. It tells you immediately what the problem is. Well, there are two possibilities. It's either they follow the current of the astral. Huh? You see children doing that. Either they follow the current of the astral, or the current of the ego is not anchored. You could say that too. Both possibilities. But anyway, it's both correct. So all this mirrored writing is connected with that in detail. It's a large picture, but it's also in detail, like that. When I write from left to right, as we do in our culture, you follow the current of the physical body. So in our Western culture, in our handwriting, you see that the emphasis is on the ego in connecting with the physical body. That's what we do when we write. And the current of the curves is the astral. Yeah, and then those of you who know the rod exercises, they are addressing different things. There are different rod exercises, but they're addressing different things. You have this rod, the seventh folded. It's called seventh folded. Yeah, you have this rod here, and then you go down, and you go up. Then you go to the right. This is this current. I must do it this way. This current. Well, anyway, here. And then you go to the left. And then once again to that side. That's a funny thing, funny part. Then you go up again. And then you go down again. Pause. There you have these same directions. And even you can do it in standing, but you also could do the stepping with it. Then you have sentient soul, sentient body with it. You see, there you are in the 3 dimensions. My question was always, why twice to the other side? Because Steiner speaks of the etheric body being twice as strong as the physical. So I had always the idea, you should go twice to that side. Once to that side and then twice to that side. Until Olga lately, this week told me, but as a eurythmist you are making you make inwardly the counter movement. So, and then it's correct. You see, and that's the difference again between eurythmy and what we are doing, because we're working with the physical. But in the eurythmy, you are following it inwardly. So you work from the inside out, and then it's a mirrored picture. It's beautiful, actually. Huh? So and this is what you're also doing when you do the right ankle triangle. So you follow the arrows. You go down. You make a pause, and you do the next one. You make a pause. And then you do the diagonal, this way. And when you go through all the 4 cards, yeah, you do every direction 2 times. And so forth. So there you are really working, balancing out all these currents and form this harmony. And in this center here, where everything should be in perfect harmony, is the heart. So the whole circulation of the blood, how it circulates, how it spirals around, how it goes into the ventricles, I don't know the words for it, but anyway, and then into the body and back and to the lungs and so forth. This whole movement is actually this picture. It's actually this picture. When you look at illustrations of the heart, you can even see the spiral around the heart. You can see it in muscles and so forth, and in blood vessels. And even how the blood comes from the atrium into the, I don't know what's it called, bosom into the chamber, we call it. Is that the same? Atrium into the ventricle. Okay. It spirals down. It spirals, goes in a vortex. And not only that, from that ventricle, it goes into the veins. Veins? Yeah. But the blood continues spiraling.